What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to a fun video. This is looking at my top 10 games on Kickstarter or GameFound or wherever you can crowdfund them that are still coming out, hopefully this year. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Now, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the videos I make every single week, and you can give even $1 a month, there's a link down in the description below. Thank you so much. They are helping me go to Gen Con, by the way, guys. So I will be there. I'd love to meet you there. Feel free to come up at any time, shake my hand, say hi. Maybe we can chat about board games a little bit. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. The first thing is that I believe after Dune, Kamana is going to have one more campaign, and I think they're going to want to make it a doozy. I think it's going to either be The Last of Us that they announced back in 2020 in September, or the miniature version of God of War. If you recall, in Bloodborne, they did the same thing. It was a card game. They made it into miniatures. When Eric Lang was still with them, he essentially came out and said, hey, yeah, you guys know we do miniature games, in a response to, well, there'll be a miniature game version of God of War. So I know they're working on that as well. Either one of these definitely gets into my top 10. The reason it's so low, the reason it's all the way at the bottom is just because I'm not sure not only which one, but if either of them will be there. They haven't been announced yet. They're not like even tentative necessarily in this year, but I know that they plan on probably at least one more big one before the end of the year, and I think it might be one of these. So I'm almost hoping, because I mean, I would be happy with either of these, depending on how they turn out. Of course, you could do either one quite differently. This one, I'd probably be The Last of Us, interested in game. God of War, interested in game, of course, but the minis, man, they would be wild. They'd be awesome. All right, coming in at number 9, we have Celestial. This would be much higher if I was more sure that it would be this year. I suspect, however, that they're going to want to get Dawn of Madness out, and so it'll probably actually end up being 2023. I'm going to ask them when I go over there when we're going to see Celestial. I have been begging for this game for years now, but either way, just the possibility that it could show up on Kickstarter excites me, because they have done a little bit more effort in showing it. They've shown a lot more minis off. They've shown off the Hips minis. I actually have some of them, right? And so they're definitely progressing on it. It's just a matter of when they launch it. I don't know. Number 8 goes to Blood Oak Chapter 1. I don't know if Black Forge Games plans on launching this at the end of the year or in the next year, but I am super excited about it because they make fantastic minis that are super well designed and super interesting. The world is cool. I don't know what game they're even attaching to it, but trust me when I say that they have proven to be kind of visionaries in a lot of this respect, and so I'm definitely interested to see what they have to offer for a board game. Sounds cool. And we're starting with Chapter 1, so that means there would be more too. Now, again, will it be this year? I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise us, maybe not. I guess we will see. Okay, number 7, Nanolith Cyberpunk RPG board game. Look, I've been desiring a cyberpunk board game that I find quite fun for a while now. And like, there are some that are like fun, but I want like the dungeon crawl kind of aspect, right? I want to like feel like I'm living in this world and inhabiting it, as opposed to playing a game set within it, if that makes sense. So the style of game that this is, right, where it talks about 1 to 4 heroes with RPG co-op. That's this skirmish story-based board game. I'm assuming what they're describing there is essentially kind of like a dungeon crawl, where you have the set and then you go and you fight them. If you look at some of the other pictures, they have like kind of a very standard, not a standard, but a very minimalist game board that you kind of, let's like, you know, fight in. And then you have, I think, the story and stuff around it, I think is kind of how that works out. Either way, super excited to learn more about it for sure. All right. So we are already from 10, 9, 8, 7. We are on 6. Number 6 is Thorgal, the board game. The art looks great. The style looks interesting. I like that it's talking about how they're a family that going on an adventure like this. That it's something I can relate to because I have family too, and we have adventures, just not with like bows and swords and cool enemies and high stakes adventure and all that other kind of fun stuff, but super low stakes adventures. Like, will we get home in time to keep our sanity as the baby's crying kind of thing. Like we've been there, we've done that, gotten the t-shirt. Now the kids are older and I want to play a board game with them. Thorgal sounds interesting. I like that it sounds like each scenario is actually self-contained. Again, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Conan, where you get a little bit of a scenario, you get to make decisions. It's unique for this scenario, but then you can move on to the next one. And when I don't have that time commitment of like, we got to play through this, we got to do this, I actually tend to play the games more often. So at least for my group, that actually sounds quite interesting. All right, so number 5. This is where we're now starting to get in towards, the really top ones here. And rounding it out is The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. This has been, in preview for a while now. I still think that CTG will want to do this at the end of the year. That's when all the heavy hitting stuff comes. That's a great time to be offering stuff on the internet as people spend gobs and gobs of money around the holiday season. And a lot of that can be on board games. The Skyrim is a big IP, and this CTG is a big company in that like what they do matters, is impactful, is well appreciated and enjoyed in the industry. The art looks great. The quality, I'm sure, is fantastic. Don't know what kind of game it is, but I'm very, very interested to hear what CTG has done with the IP. And they've taken their sweet time with it too, which I also super appreciate. All right, number 4 is Oathsworn Into the Deepwoods second printing. Now, this would be higher if I didn't already own Oathsworn, but it is just second printing. However, they are planning on doing some very cool stuff that I'm super excited to see more of. And I'll actually be giving them some feedback here soon about just a few things that I would like to see as well. Because that's, at the end of the day, they're just like, okay, we're going to reprint it, but we want to offer stuff that's still new and exciting for you too, without breaking the bank and doing something crazy like that. So I'm actually glad they're like that. All right, number 3. Number 3 is Sankokushin, of course. 5 sacrifices. This is going to be a wild game. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. And last I heard, Q4 of this year. So we will see if it leaks into the next year or not. My understanding is they actually have quite a bit done, but there's still so much more to see and to experience and learn about. And I'm down with learning and experiencing and seeing. So let's get to it. Let's launch it. Let me see what you got. All right, top two. These are the big ones, and I don't know if you are going to guess either of them actually. So let's just go ahead and go. Number 2 is Stone Saga by Games. I love the sound of this, and I cannot wait to hear more. Cooperative, survival, crafting, board game set in a unique, persistent world shaped by your choices. I love every word in that sentence. Every single one of them is a fantastic word, and when put together, it's a work of art. That sounds really, really fun. I like cooperative. It's nice semi-cooperative. Survival crafting. Yes, please. That sounds awesome as well. It talks about the kind of narrative driven where you're making choices, exploration, discovery, storytelling. Look, it sounds like it's going to be something super neat. And again, the art is just amazing. So that leaves us with number 1. I wonder if you're going to guess what the number 1 is. The number 1 makes me both excited and sad at the same time. Which is not because of what it is, but because of the situation around it. But you can't help that. So let's go ahead and see. The number 1 is Batman Escape from Arkham Asylum. I want this game so badly. I really do. It looks and sounds fun. It's got great looking minis. It's got nice looking art, very more cartoony style, which I really appreciate. Like I said, tons of unique minis. It's a unique take on it where you play the bad guys running from Batman where Batman is hunting you down sounds absolutely freaking terrifying. Like that. No, I can only imagine like turning a corner as a crook and you see Batman there. You're just going to like crap yourself. That's your only defense. That's all you got. Hopefully he won't smash your face in too much if you crap yourself. Super duper cool to be able to do that. And his rogue gallery is awesome. It sounds great. However, The URL, the website, doesn't resolve anymore, so they haven't renewed that website. They haven't mentioned it really since the designer had some health issues, and that makes me super sad. I really hope this still sees the light of day. I really, really, really do. I want to play this. I would probably buy everything they had to offer. I would hate myself for it and love myself for it all at the same time, because I would hate it, but then I would enjoy it, if that makes sense. So that's my top 10. What's yours? Can you even make a top 10 for the remainder of this year? I'm going to be doing a video similar to this after Gen Con, where I'm talking, maybe it changed it. Maybe I played a game there or saw a game there. That's going to be so jazzed up. It's going to take something from this. So I kind of want to do a compare and contrast between pre-Gen Con and after Gen Con to see kind of where I land on that. So that should be fun. Again, stay tuned for that. Obviously subscribe to be able to see that. And let me know what you would add, remove, what you think about these, and whether or not they'll launch or not. It's kind of frustrating because when you do stuff like this, rarely do they have an announced release date. And even if they do, like October 26th, that was not of this year. So like it can still get delayed. It still doesn't really, follow that at all. Who cares what they said? So, anyway, would love to hear what you have to say. That's it. That's all I had. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.